Hi, Lisa Workman here. I want to share with you some exercises that you can use your poles with at home. So let's say that it's not very nice out, it's the bitter cold winter. I want you to know that your poles are not just meant for outside. You can definitely do some exercises with the poles that incorporate strength, that can incorporate endurance, can also incorporate a lot of brain exercise too. So go ahead and grab your poles. I'm simply on an armless chair here and I'm sitting slightly forward. So I'm not sitting all the way back in my chair. I actually am sitting slightly forward. So from here, we'll bring our poles out, and again, checking that your right is in your right hand, your left is in your left hand. Your arms are going to be elevated away from the waistline. So when we're standing, we still get that nice 90-degree angle at that elbow joint. But of course, when we sit down, we shrink, and so our arms are going to be elevated and higher, which is totally fine. We're going to help strengthen the upper body as we use our poles. So really important to take your hands, release those fingertips to begin with, and then see if you can press down, grasping gently on those ergonomic handles. So go ahead and open the fingers, close them up, press down. Open those fingers up wide, close that grip, press down. Open those fingers up, close that grip, press down. Good. Now find the best position for you for that side of the hand, going to land on that shelf. Let it hold there. And now simply just press down. Keep those shoulders away from their earlobes, sitting nice and tall. Lift out of the pelvis. Think about the base of your pelvis, your sit bones where you're sitting. So sit nice and tall and then reach that spine nice and tall. Come out of the crown of your head as you're pressing those arms and hands, I should say, down. So you're going to feel that sensation happening and you'll see a slight movement of my arms and shoulders. So pressing down, just waking up the body and starting to get some movement. Now moving on, once you've got your grip quite comfortable, we're going to start incorporating the lower body. So here we're going to work on opposition. So lifting opposite arm and opposite leg. Now, of course, if you wanted to and you wanted more challenge, you definitely could do this standing. Now remember, we're taking away 2 of our 4 points of contact. So when we stand up, we definitely have balance to consider. So just be aware if your balance isn't super great, then maybe the sitting option's better. Still sitting up nice and tall as we alternate arm and leg, just starting to warm up the body a little bit more, getting more bigger movements, allowing that heart to respond and send blood to the working muscles. Good, and reach. Get that knee up, knee up. Great work. Now, are you still pressing down as you push the pole down? I don't know, I forgot there for a moment. So make sure you're pressing down. Really activate those arms into each of the poles. Good, starting to feel a little bit warmer. Keep moving. Excellent job. Let's do 1 more on each side. Great job. Now still again, assessing that seat. How are you standing? You can come from standing and now sit down with us. That works as well. So take the poles and bring them in front of you. So toes of the booty should be facing the toes of your shoes, allowing those arms to come in front. Now take those arms, open up as wide as you can, and then press them down. Every time that those poles hit the ground, press down. Press down. Excellent. Still sitting up nice and tall. If you can, think about engaging the middle, engaging that torso, pulling that belly button slightly to the spine as you press those arms down. Excellent. No, not being super fast, not being super slow, but being controlled. Control your movement. Okay, are we ready for more? Let's go. We're adding the legs now. So legs and arms will stay closed. Legs and arms will open up. So as you press with the arms, you equally want to press with those feet. Press down. press down. Every time, opening and closing, pressing down. You should definitely start to feel quite warm as that body, it's a full body experience, and as that body is moving almost everywhere. Great work. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, make yourself big. 3, try not to lean backwards. 2, sit up tall. Last one. And 1. Great job, everyone. Bring those arms now in front of you, and then see if you can sort of clasp the hands around that pole. We're gonna make some big circles, almost like you have a big pot of stew and you have to round and stir that big stew. So just giving some length to the low back, through those shoulders, rotating around. Good, and then we'll go opposite direction. Here we go, other direction. Scooping it around. Now your breathing rate may have gone up, so you might feel like you're breathing a little bit heavier. This is an opportunity to have a bit of a break, a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of release, because we're heading back for some more. With a small little change, go ahead and do 1 more big circle around. Good, and then bring those poles back in front of you. Wonderful. So this time, let's get those arms started. We're opening and we're closing. Opening and closing. Our legs get so much work all the time. These arms maybe don't. So this is a great opportunity to challenge those arms every time you plant, press down. Excellent work. Now, guess what? We're gonna add those legs, but instead of what we did last time, we're gonna do it in the opposite way. So as the arms open, the legs stay closed. As the legs open, the arms close. So alternating, open and close. So arms open, legs close. Legs open, arms close. Opposite. Takes a little brain power, my friends. Stay nice and upright, pressing both in those hands and pressing into those feet. Good work. Now, what adds challenge? Speed. So if you can go a bit faster, that's gonna make it harder. Listen to your body and make sure that's right for you. If that's too much, you go back to the regular speed or slow it down completely. Good work. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Great job. This time, take those poles out in front. And I always visualize this as me operating a big piece of machinery. And these are my joysticks. So we're gonna pull the arms back one at a time, like I'm pulling sort of a joystick or a driving stick back and forth. Good. Squeeze those shoulder blades back and together. Excellent job. Sitting up nice and tall. This is an opportunity to let those legs rest a bit, the heart rate to come down, the breathing rate to come down. Keep moving those arms. Great job. And if you'd like, why not both at the same time? Here we go, one at both times. Here, save some time. Do both sides together. Great work. Alrighty, let's take those poles now. We're going to cross them over. So the bottom of one is at the handle of the other, and the bottom of the other is at the other handle. So we've got sort of them crossed over here. Now take those poles and place them on your lap. Press down, down, down into those thighs. And as you press down, try to lift the leg up. So alternating knee lifts, and we're trying to resist. Use those poles to resist you. Resist, resist. Strength here, both with the upper body and the lower body. You're working against yourself. So gauge how much pressure feels right for you as you move those knees up and down. Whoops, mine slipped. Keep going. Got a little too carried away of pushing up. My hand wasn't ready for it. Keep going. Sit up nice and tall and breathe. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7. Stick with it. What did I end? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There's nothing like laughing about yourself. No problem. I screwed up the numbers there. That's okay. Alrighty, take your poles back out to the right hand. So right and right, left and left. From here, we're gonna plant those poles quite a bit in front of us. And then from there, we're scooching over to the side of one of our chairs, the side of the chair here. And I want you to see if you can bring the leg back behind you. So it's almost like you're taking yourself into almost like a lunge position. So you're still supported on the seat, definitely on the front leg, but the back leg that's going behind, you might find that you can scooch it back a little bit. So we've got a supported lunge here on our chair. Finding some openness in the front of the thigh. We just work that area of the body, so we're gonna give it a little bit of a stretch. Really use your poles, so press into it for balance. Use the chair for support to open up the front of the hip in through our front of our hip flexor. Good, take some nice deep breaths. And then release that leg, scooch over to the other side. We must do the other side. Again, taking that leg over the edge of the side of the chair, dropping that knee back, pressing into that pole, and then see how far you can wiggle that back leg back. Press into the front foot to support you, stretching out the front of that hip. Great work. Release that leg, bring it forward, come back to that seated position on your chair. Now from here, as long as you feel good and you don't feel lightheaded, we're gonna fold forward. So bring the hands out a bit further. So walk those arms forward and then bring the torso so that it's parallel to the ground as best you can. Keep those arms extended as best you can. Now, if you can't get the arms that far forward, shorten the distance. But if you have that flexibility in your arms, go ahead and reach them up and overhead, kind of like a forward fold position. Then from here, we're gonna squeeze those shoulder blades down and then try to bend those elbows. So if you're familiar with a gym exercise, so a weight exercise called a lat pull down, we're working by pressing our hands into those poles and squeezing those shoulder blades as we come down. Very similar motion as the weight machine in the gym. We're strengthening that upper back, the big back muscle called the lats. Really squeeze those shoulder blades down and together. Really keep long through the spine. Try not to let the head fall. Nice and long, squeeze down. Pressing into those poles. They are adding that resistance. Press and pull back. Press hands down, pull the arms down. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2, and last 3. Here we go. Alrighty, great job. Walk those poles up. Have yourself come up into that upright position. Excellent. Now we'll take the poles and place them again opposite to opposite. So handle to tip and handle to other tip. Good, from here. Now take your hands and flip them so that your palm is facing upwards, elbows at 90-degree angle, and the poles are gonna land into your palms here. Sitting nice and tall still, press down through those feet. We're going to move the arms from side to side. So almost like our poles are a platter that we have to balance on our hands. So coming side to side, good. Try to keep those forearms parallel to the ground below you. Excellent. And then if it's available to you, clasp hold of those poles, straighten those arms out, and then reach the arms up. So palms facing upwards towards the ceiling. See how high you can lift your arms. So if they're here, totally fine. If you have some more range of motion, see if you can bring your arms up overhead. And as you bring them up, tuck those ribs in, because the ribs want to flare up and you want to arch through the back. No, let's stay upright, nice tall spine, ribs tucked in, arms are what are moving. So that ball and socket joint of that shoulder is moving. And let's do a couple just dynamically up and down. Good, keep those shoulders down. Last one here, and then release. Take those poles again back into the correct hand. And now you can sit back into your chair. So have a seat back, let that back be supported, allow those poles to be at your side, extend those arms out to the side, almost like you're in a T shape, and then allow the hands to tip back. So we're getting a stretch through the front body, through the chest. Keep that chin parallel to the floor, keep the back supported on that backrest. Good, releasing, opening through the chest. Good. And allowing the arms to fold forward and down. Again, open it up, T position, and then extend back. And then allow them to come in together. Good. Take the poles now at the center, so right in the middle, and let them come parallel to you beside the chair. And then simply just let them swing back and forth, releasing any tension at all that's in your shoulders. Good, nice gliding motion, swinging from that shoulder joint like a pendulum. Good. And then releasing those poles, just let them land into the lap. There's a lot of wrist work when we use our poles. We keep them sort of our wrists fixed for such a long period of time. So let's do just a couple wrist rotations and then other direction. And then just shake them out. Now I hope this was a good glimpse into how you can incorporate your poles into an indoor environment, doing a workout that challenges the upper body, the core, as well as the lower body and legs. We get the heart rate up, we get the breathing up, we challenge the cardiovascular system, as well as challenging the musculoskeletal system. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to shoot me an email at info@lisaworkman.com. I hope this gives you some new ideas of how you can use your poles inside your home, and know that the poles aren't simply just for walking outside. Again, keep going, keep your exercise going, use your poles, and have fun.